Good morning, SpeedGaming. Tasselfoot here for another match of Untitled Goose Game in our any percent glitchless tournament. We're going to be getting started really soon with our losers bracket match between GreenSnowDog and someone. We're going to get confirmed that everything is ready,
folks.
All right, dude. Okay. Gonna flip over to someone's audio since GreenSnowDog has his microphone on. And yeah, just making sure that both runners here are ready. This is a best of 3, and I would expect each one of these games to last 15 to 16 minutes, give or take. Just getting everybody set up, and then we will honk our way to glory here. And my apologies, just for reference, Diston may be joining on the comms, may not. We're not sure what's going on there. I'm kind of hopping in reserve here. I may have to disappear inadvertently, and if commentary just kind of drops for a little bit, that is why. I apologize, but we'll do the best I can here for a 10:30 a.m. weekday commentary. And if you haven't seen Goose Game speedrun before, you're definitely in for a little bit of a treat. All right, both runners are ready. We're going to be doing a countdown here, and apologize for the little bit delay on the start, but we're getting going now. All right, and the runners have gotten their word to start honking, and as soon as the restream catches up, they will be off. Okay. All right. Looks like the restream just... Okay. They're working on fixing GreenSnowDog's layout, and runners are off though. Thank you, Restreamer, for fixing that little issue. And so this is any percent glitchless, and what you're going to see on GreenSnowDog's side, he will pop through the fence. That is not considered a glitch. Basically, what we define as a glitch, either A, involves an item to do, B, involves going through a wall or fence or gate, or both, and this does not do that. You kind of you open it up and you go through an opening. So it is an abuse of game mechanic, abuse of physics, not considered a glitch. Something else that we'll see right at the end of the race as well. So the goal of Untitled Goose Game is to complete a bunch of tasks to annoy the NPCs in each of 4 areas, and then we're going to steal a bell and bring it back home. So this first area is the garden. We go battle solo with Groundskeeper Willie here, and we have to do a bunch of stuff, like get into the garden, we have to get Groundskeeper Willie wet, we have to steal his keys, we need to take his hat, and we need to do rake in the lake. Each area also has a gather task. In the garden, it's like collect 9 items and put them on a picnic basket. That's super slow. Thankfully, we're allowed to skip 1 task in each area and still be able to unlock the final task and move on. And so in each area, we're going to skip the gather task because they are the slowest. Really nice hat placement from GreenSnowDog, and it is pretty precise timing on where you place that hat to make sure that Groundskeeper Willie stops in the correct spot so that you can then go and move the rake past him without him seeing. Also, GreenSnowDog, you see him moving a bunch of stuff around. This is because A, we have free time to just wait until we can do the final task here, but B, it's also to help try to manipulate Willie for the bell return. It doesn't usually work, but you know, it's free time, so why not try? We're going to move on to High Street on GSD's side as someone does his rake in the lake. And you can see that GSD is luring Groundskeeper Willie with his own spade. We do this because we have to have someone, not our runner someone, but just a generic someone, buy back an item of theirs. And so normally when you play this casually, you're probably going to have the boy buy back that toy plane that's sitting on the bench. But it is faster to have Groundskeeper Willie buy back his spade. And that is a hidden task that the game has that you gain access to after you complete the main game. And that's someone buying back one of their items from outside of High Street, which is Groundskeeper Willie. So saves about 20 seconds, so it's definitely worth doing. Although it does require a little bit of extra manipulation. It's definitely a harder strategy to do. Takes a little bit of practice. And things can go very, very wrong if you screw it up. Like 1.5, 2 minutes worth of time loss. So really nice from GreenSnowDog. A lot of trouble going on someone's side. He is just having all kinds of issues. The boy is not going where he wants at all, and he has lost control of Groundskeeper Willie. Yeah. This is a giant problem for someone. I think he's gonna have to give up on the spade. He's lost Groundskeeper Willie, and I think he's just better off trying to do the boy with the toy plane at this point. We'll see if that's what he does. GSD finishing up High Street in a little under 4 minutes. I would say definitely for the intermediate runner, sub 4 minutes out of High Street is what your goal is. Top runners are usually looking like 3:35 or better. Also, GSD got stuck. That is unfortunate. You're supposed to exit out of that side door in front of the shopkeeper there, but sadly something went wrong there and GSD got trapped in the garage, had to wait for the shopkeep to open up the front, and now she is chasing him the entire way to back garden, but she will not enter into back garden, so he is now safe. And thankfully the NPC's running speed is a little bit different from NPC to NPC. The shopkeeper is actually like the slowest NPC in the game. She pretty much just runs at the exact same speed as the Goose. And yep. So, and then again, you notice that on GSD's side, he brought that view finder over. There's a task here where you have to dress up a statue. Game calls it a bust. Needs 3 items. They're all sitting there on Roger's table. These neighbors are Roger and Tina. But it's faster and better for the manipulations to bring in the Viewmaster so that you don't have to do a third trip. It also distracts Roger so that you can easily remove his newspaper which is a really, really long cycle and is not something that we need to use at all in this section, except for getting his one slipper, which we've already gotten. GSD had a little bit of trouble properly manipulating Roger there, but got it sorted out without too much time loss. And yeah, someone is really struggling here, still stuck in High Street. Things went awry when he lost groundskeeper Willie, and he is doing everything he can to try to just make it back. We'll see if I think the boy should buy back his toy plane here. Yeah, he is. All right, so the boy will buy it, and someone will be able to leave and move on from High Street finally. And GSD still trying to work on getting that bus done. And he's going to get made up into a pretty Goose. So NPCs also, they have a priority list. Basically, if they see something that they need to do, they will rank it in a very specific order. And we use that, and we know that as the speedrunners of the game in terms of how to control the NPCs or understanding what we need them to see or what we need to make sure they don't see. That gate is the highest priority for Tina, after which comes pecking at the squirrel bush for her to trim it. And then it kind of goes down the list. For Roger, the ribbon is his highest priority. If he sees the ribbon, he will stand up and immediately try to go for it. So we need to make sure that he doesn't see us with the ribbon so we can get that second shoe. Good job from GSD. And then he's going to go and give the vase. Hey, shopkeeper's coming back to say hello again for some reason. That's pretty interesting. And so, yeah, so if Tina sees that her vase is broken, she's going to try to go up and have a conversation with Roger about it, but that's super slow. And so instead, we just make sure we keep her at the bottom so she never sees that it happens. And she prioritizes the gate and doing the snipping of the bush and the rose above having that conversation. So just some of the manipulations that we are doing. And those definitely increase as the game goes on, as there are more and more NPCs and more items that we have to deal with in each of the areas. So someone has made it into Back Garden right around the time that GreenSnowDog is leaving Back Garden. As a general rough estimate, it's about 2 minutes each for Garden and High Street, and then it's about 3.5 to 4 minutes for Back Garden, Pub, and the Bell Return. For those good at math, that works out to about 14.5 minutes, which is definitely a highly respectable PB time for runners. And I do think GSD's PB is in that area, that range. Let me check the leaderboards real quick on it. Yeah, GSD 14:49. Is his PB. Someone has not actually submitted to the leaderboard, but I think their PB is around 18 minutes and change, if I recall. So in Pub, there's a couple of quick items and there's a couple of long items. So we have to deal with the old man twice. We need to have him break his dartboard, and then we also need to pull his chair out from him. We need to get this pint glass into a piece of water, which is out in the canal out front. This is one of the slow ones. We have to perform for the ladies. That's very quick. And we need to steal the toy boat, which is slow. It takes 20 seconds for... Oh, that's so bad for GSD. He didn't fully extend out over the bridge, and so when he dropped the pint glass, it broke on the edge and it didn't actually make it in the water. So he's got to come back and get a second pint glass to do that again. But he's going to stop at the old man here, and he is going to pull out the chair. It looks like you got it just in time. You want to, if you're having trouble with that casually, you want to pull the chair out as early as possible, which is definitely counterintuitive. I think most people are thinking like, oh, if I pull the chair out as late as possible, that'll be how we prevent the guy from knowing that it's missing, but that's not actually true. If you pull it out really, really late, he will notice. But if you pull it out early, he's oblivious to it. So pull that share as early as you can. Someone's still having trouble here. Looks like Roger got his second slipper back. GSD sadly fell into the canal. He will be best suited to reset here. Resetting will reset you back at the start of an area, but it will not reset the tasks that you've completed. It appears that GSD is instead going to try to just run the lap and go completely through the entirety of the game again to get back there. But that is super slow. It would have been much better for him to just reset, because then all he would have to do is the final task, I believe. Or no, he would have to get the boat. Okay, now he's resetting, but he's resetting. This should put him back at the... No, yeah. Because he entered into other areas, it puts him at the start of those areas. If he had just fallen in the canal and immediately reset, it would have put him back at the start of pub. And instead, now he has to. He has no choice now but to run through the game, and he has to go all the way back in through back gardens and then out the door again. He can't go out through the front. So hopefully he realizes that. Yeah. So that's unfortunate. We've seen that from a few runners here in this tournament, that they've accidentally fallen in the canal. And the backup strat to that for sure is to reset. It is significantly faster than doing this and running back through the entirety of the game. But GSD is still getting back there, and he is still significantly ahead of someone really struggling big time here. I'm not sure what he has left in back garden still. Been having a little bit of trouble following all of the antics. Looks like at a minimum he has to get the ribbon made on. I think he still has to do the slippers, which is going to be a problem because he's got to get both of them still. But all GSD has to do is the boat here, and that's going to take 20 seconds for the water to fill up. And GSD is just kind of distracting the pub lady. It's not exactly how I would have done it, but you know, if it gets the job done, that's all that matters. Just make sure you hold it long enough. The two items that can be problematic to make sure you hold long enough to register is the toy boat and groundskeeper Willie's keys. Both of them, you need to hold for at least 3 seconds, and sometimes players will accidentally drop them too early, and it won't register the task as being completed. So we are on to the final task here of pub. GST having a little trouble with Vinny, our bouncer here. He's a very aggressive bouncer. Not a big fan of Goose, but all right. We're gonna just drop a bucket on his head. Just make sure he doesn't... Nope, I was just going to say, make sure you don't leave too early. You got to be patient, man. You can't leave that little cubby nook until Vinny is fully into the other side. Otherwise, he will see you exactly as what happened. And he's going to go and pick up a tomato really soon. There we go. He's going to put it down. And we'll drop a bucket on his head. So that's going to be the end of pub, and all we've got left is the bell return, which should hopefully be under 4 minutes. So we're going to be looking at probably an 18-something, barring any catastrophic bell return shenanigans or mishaps, as someone is finishing up back garden. So this is the bell return. You notice GSD did what might have looked like a glitch, but it's not. Just using the geometry of the tree, and you just kind of neck onto that tree, and it just kind of like ramps you up and over. So again, because it's not using an item and it's not going through any other object or barrier, it's not considered a glitch. You need the bell, GSD. You need the bell, dude. What are you doing? You can't win the game without the bell. There we go. So the game does get progressively harder as you go along between the 4 areas, and then for the bell return, it's the opposite of that. The pub is the hardest area of the game, both going through it and completing tasks, and then also coming back through it on the bell return. Just because of how narrow the walkway is and how many NPCs there are. There's also a lot of also RNG factors in terms of where those NPCs are on your bell return. So GSD doing a little bit of safety routing there, but only loses a few seconds. Much better than the alternative of when you can lose probably a full minute or more if you really have some bad stuff going through. But the bell return does get easier and easier as you go through. Just, you know, Tina, leave me alone. All right, well, she's gonna... All right. Everything's fine. Nothing to see here. Just a goose with a bell. Don't worry. No. So you can hit the gong, the big bell, and that would distract her so that she'll stop doing this. But I think GSD having a little bit of issues with his backups in general here. He's trying to kind of just power through as opposed to doing some strats that would really help make his life easier. But he is going to win this game, even still, even with having to run that huge lap from the canal back to the pub. All right, just go under the table. No, what are you doing, GSD? All he had to do was go under the table. Oh my goodness. Probably not going to be an 18 now. Definitely looking at a 19. Oh, good. Oh boy. Oh boy. Yeah, shopkeeper is not happy. Yeah, like all he had to do was go under the table with the bell, and he would have been okay. But I don't know if he got stuck or if he was trying to just brute force his way again through things. But all right, he out there. He got the bell. There you go. He's doing that drop and re-grab. If you have an NPC that's faster than you that's chasing you, they will kind of pause and freeze and start doing a different animation if you drop the bell. So that will allow you to keep your lead and prevent them from catching up and grabbing the bell back. And hopefully someone is figuring out what they were doing wrong before, and that we have a tighter, closer game number 2. However, Pub Lady went to deal with that boat instead of doing what she was supposed to do. Now she's coming to do her final task. A little bit delayed. And GSD taking it home, 1929. Someone probably going to be more like 23, 24. But I think someone was willing to just throw in the towel on this one, maybe even about 10 minutes ago, and we can move on to game number 2. Trying to get. There we go. Okay, looks like someone is quitting out. We're trying to get the go ahead from both. GSD is doing any percent or something. Can we? Yeah. Oh. Okay. All right. Okay, and runners are off again. Restream will be catching up very shortly. Here's hoping for a little bit smoother for both of our runners. That was kind of a crazy game one. But this is Goose Game, and lots of shenanigans can occur. As you have seen. So, yep, both runners back up again. GSD. Feed died, and hey, there we go. Hopefully that was not on my end, but I'm not sure. Having a little bit of stream issues here, or at least I am. Don't know if anybody else is, but GreenSnowDog getting both of our runners getting Wet Willy RNG. Someone honked for some reason though. That's actually really bad because you can see how slow Groundskeeper Willy is walking because of the confusion in the honk. You definitely don't want to do that. You just want to get him wet. See, yeah, it's causing. You need the keys though, someone. Yeah, honking is a great tool, but it needs to be wielded surgically. It is not a hammer. It is a scalpel. My cat is making all kinds of noise in the background here. Sorry about that. She is being a very whiny girl. Looks like the stream is back up again. Really good 150 garden from GreenSnowDog. That is really good. It's a little bit of struggles from someone. It can be tough to get that hat placement correct, and it was a little bit off on his side, but he'll be moving along 230 or so. And making our way into High Street. A little bit of trouble there with the boy. You don't want to let the boy see you as the goose, because then that kind of notifies him that stuff is going wrong. And so that's kind of what happened there. And GSD had to wait a little bit longer and make sure that he properly locked him in the phone booth. Getting himself on TV, Celebrity Goose Edition. And someone is, did not do that correctly. Hopefully he can pick it back up again and doesn't run into the same issues that he had on game number one, because that's really where the troubles started for someone. Good boy position. Yeah, and GSD already finishing up really fast. Great start so far for GSD. Someone, nope, going too fast and now is going to run into problems again. Not what you want to see. Really unfortunate, to be honest. It is a tough strat. If someone wants to save this, he needs to break the broom. The only way he can do it to distract the shopkeeper is that doesn't help. That was so mean, Willy. That was just so mean. But if he doesn't get the broom break, he's not going to be able to control Willie, and Willie's now getting away from him. I don't think he's going to get it. He's gonna struggle the same way that he did in the first match. Unfortunately, no, you can't go under there, buddy. Yeah, this is really bad. You hate to see this kind of struggle, to be honest. Oh, he got it there. Will it register though? Nope, it didn't register. He got it on the table, but the hitbox is not just the table. It has to be like close to the middle for it to actually register on the hitbox. So that's honestly the worst feeling, is when you feel like, oh man, I got it onto the table and it still doesn't even register. But it's I think someone doesn't even know what to do right now, to be honest. If he's gonna have to try to back it up with the boy. He's gonna have to get the plane, or I think he said he's forfeiting. But we'll see. It'd be great to at least finish it out, you know. See how we can do in the rest of the run. But just some really bad high streets. Unfortunately, just was not able to properly manipulate groundskeeper Willie. And GSD is actually having a really nice run here. I like legitimate chance to PB if he's able to keep this up. Through he needs to drop that though. She's gonna see it. Yep, you need to drop that. There you go. But yeah, if he can keep this up, that's not where you want to place that. But okay, not too bad. Hopefully the cycle still works for him. I unfortunately think he's gonna miss the cycle on Roger with the vase because of how he was manipulating Tina right there. So that is going to be like 15 seconds of time loss from the miss cycle. But should still be a really good paced run for GSD here. Yeah, he's going to wait it out. He's not going to risk it. Again, because as I mentioned in game number 1, the ribbon is the highest priority for Roger. And so if you time that wrong and he sees... or like that, where you're goofing around and you're messing around, then you're gonna screw things up. The NPCs have really good vision, and so GSD was kind of screwing around, and Roger saw the vase, and so now Roger's gonna have to throw the vase. He has to throw the ribbon, and then he's gonna sit back down again, and he can finally grab the second slipper, which is why it's really advantageous, and you really want to make your cycles, or you need to actually be patient and just wait for the next one. You can't goose around in this game. So he is going to grab that slipper just to lure Roger down faster. That is the recommended strategy. Needs a honk in here though. There we go. Probably not on PB pace anymore for GSD after that mistake right there. It's going to be getting about an little over 8 minute rose clip, which like he could PB, but he would probably need to gold both of his next 2 splits. So it is pretty unlikely. And grab that bra. NPCs just move faster when they're chasing you because they're running. Whereas they'll just walk slowly if you don't have them chase you. So there's a lot of instances like that where we just take an NPC's item, get them to run because it's faster. So looks like someone just kind of checked out. He's just kind of messing around right now, doing a little shopping on his side as GSD I apologize if you can hear the cat in my background. She is loudly meowing. She wants some attention. I'm giving too much attention here to the goose, not enough to the cat. So someone has officially, but I think GSD is going to finish things up here because the run is on decent pace. I imagine they want to see what they can do, but always appreciate coming out and participating. This is going to eliminate someone from the tournament, as this is a losers bracket round 1 matchup in our double elimination tournament. And GreenSnowDog is going to move on and face the winner of Ernie versus Daka. And Ernie versus Daka is going to take place roughly the same time in 3 days, on Friday, I believe. On Friday at 10 a.m. So not going to want to miss it. If you're around for this one, you're probably going to be around for that one. It's going to start about 30 minutes earlier than this one on Friday, and will be another losers bracket round 1 race. Both of those runners have PBs in the 15-minute range, so it should be a really close and really exciting match between Ernie and Daka. So GSD is finishing up. Should be about 12 minutes when he gets the bucket drop. Actually, maybe a little over 12 minutes, which is going to pace somewhere into the mid to upper 15s. Much better run than round 1. Yet someone decided to forfeit. Was having a lot of issues with this run, but GSD is dragging that stool for whatever reason. Screw that stool. Screw that old man. No sitting for him, apparently. So yeah, probably about 12:20 for our bucket drop. Do a little ring around the rosy. Oh, nope. Having some Vinny problems. Don't go in too early. There you go. Because if Vinny is too far away, he will not hear the honk in the back of the pub, so he will not investigate what is going on. Okay. A little bit of issues there for GSD at the end of his pub, so... But it's going to be about a 12:45. So, and normal bell return is about 3.5 minutes. And so we are going to be looking, I guess, about a low 16. Still much better showing. No falling in the canal here. And once again, that is not a glitch. That is an abuse of the game's physics and geometry. That is some nice mashing, by the way. I would just like to point out. That is better mashing than I can do. So now that, hey, actually, and GreenSnowDog remembered the bell this time. Always helpful. So when you grab the bell, it turns all of the NPCs into like bell mode, and they go into these defensive positions where they're trying to prevent the goose from leaving with the bell. So it looks GSD is going to play it safe again. So, and just as a reminder, I only popped in here as backup on commentary. It was supposed to be Diston, but he kind of no-showed on things, so I filled in, but I'm going to have to peace out as soon as this is over. We're not going to have interviews this time around. Just want to make sure that you all know GreenSnowDog, someone, they both love you. We will have more races later on. I apologize for not having any interviews or post-game commentary on this. Also to let you know, we have another race later today, 2 p.m. Eastern, between Mrs. Candaria and Spot Motion Animations. GreenSnowDog is actually going to be doing commentary for that, so it's going to be here on SpeedGaming 1. You're definitely going to want to come back and check that out. And if you are a night owl, tonight, or maybe tomorrow morning, at 3 a.m. Eastern, is going to be Bry Guy versus Alley Cat. That is a winner's bracket round 3 matchup, aka that is a quarterfinals matchup. Bry Guy and Alley Cat, both really top tier runners of Goose Game. So if you are going to be around at 3 a.m., I highly recommend that matchup for sure. It will be some speedy Goose action. A lot of Goose races. Make sure to keep checking the SpeedGaming schedule for when all of these Goose race actions are going to continue. They'll probably keep going for the next month or two as we continue and move forward in this tournament. And GSD just about to finish. With a time somewhere in the mid-16 range. Thank you all, everyone, for watching and tuning in. GG's to our runners. Congrats to GreenSnowDog. Once again, I have been Tasselfoot filling in for commentary purposes, and that is going to be a wrap. Tune back in at 2 o'clock Eastern, and thank you to SpeedGaming for all of the awesome things that you do. With that, I gotta go. Have a great one, everybody. Bye.